Brawl Talk just dropped, and it's actually a deceptively good update. We got improvements to free-to-play players. XP doublers are actually good now. Big improvements to quests, which I think is actually going to make the game a lot more fun to play, at least for me personally. 4 new hypercharges, which means that every brawler has a hypercharge now, along with a nerf to hypercharges across the board, which I think is so good. It's what the game needs. We also have a new brawler coming to the game, and of course a Stranger Things collaboration, which honestly, okay, I don't know about you guys, but I've been getting a little bit burnt out with all of like the special events and the collaborations and stuff like that. But I actually think this is going to be the best one yet. Now, while I break down all of the new content, I also want to talk about why I think this update is exactly what the game needs right now. But first, let's kick things off with the brand new brawler coming to Brawl Stars, Gigi. Gigi is the newest mythic brawler coming to Brawl Stars. She is the second member of the Oddity Shop trio alongside Juju. She's very odd. That's a good trio for her. She is a mythic assassin, which makes her the 8th mythic assassin if you aren't counting Mina or Mo, who are kind of like assassin-esque in my opinion. I don't know. Mina's pretty assassin-like. I don't know. Just kind of depends. Up to 10 mythic assassins if you count them, right? I guess Supercell felt like we really needed another. I'm just praying for a legendary sharpshooter in the December update. Gigi is a marionette ballerina that is controlled by a strange glove that was said to have belonged to a magician. She attacks by spinning around and dealing damage to enemies all around her for each second that they are inside of her pirouette's radius. She also gains movement speed while she's using her attack, very similar to how Mo gains movement speed when he's inside of his drill and when he's attacking inside of his drill. It looks like she has about the same range as Jackie or Doug, and her ammo bar looks like works with like ambers, right? So lots of spinning, lots of damage. Now, Gigi's super will instantly teleport her wherever the super is aimed and will instantly recharge her super after she activates it so that she can activate it again to teleport her back to the spot where the first super was activated. And this is also going to deal damage to enemies near her. Okay. There's a lot here, but probably the most interesting thing about Gigi is her brand new trait. Her super will now charge not just by getting hit by attacks, right? But by dodging them. So she has this little circle around her, and every projectile that goes into that circle that does not hit her will actually charge her super up a little bit. There's a lot to Gigi, and honestly, I still have a lot of questions, right? I'm sure you guys have even more questions. I've seen this Brawl Talk footage multiple times, and you're seeing it for the first time or maybe the second time, right? So make sure you guys subscribe for the Gigi Olympics video, which I'm going to be doing a breakdown of all of her mechanics and also a comparison to other mythic assassins probably, but that's a video in the future. Let's talk about hypercharges. Oh, this is so good. Every single hypercharge in the game is getting reworked, but it's the stat buff that's getting reworked. Okay, so before the update, there are 3 different stats that brawlers get buffs by. They get the speed buff, they also get the damage buff, and they get a damage reduction buff. The problem is that some of those buffs and those stats for different brawlers are just significantly stronger than others, and it has led to a lot of these hypercharges being very oppressive, right? Like some just do so much, just a crazy amount of damage, it just feels unfair, or they have so much damage reduction that you just can't take them out, on top of speed, being able to like run around and stuff like that. It's been very unhealthy for the game in my opinion, and after this update, every hypercharge is going to have the same stat buffs. They will have a 5% damage increase, a 5% shield increase or damage reduction, and a 20% movement speed increase. The 20% movement speed increase, that's a lot. And I'm actually kind of a little bit okay with that because moving fast is fun. Doing more damage is also fun, but not as fun as moving fast is, and getting damage reduction is just kind of a little ridiculous on top of the other 2 stat buffs. So I think this is going to be really excellent and should help tone down a lot of the hypercharges. My hope is that Supercell will actually do additional balance changes to a lot of the particularly oppressive hypercharges that are in the game, and I think that they will. I don't know. We'll see, though. But we also have 4 new hypercharges coming to the game, which means that every single brawler in the game will now have a hypercharge. And yes, that means I will be starting up my pay-to-play series again. Getting real excited to spend the money. Pam's hypercharge is Mama's Love. Pam's super will now instantly heal enemies a lot of health as soon as a super hits the battlefield, similar to how her gadget works, right? But then her super will also heal brawlers past their max health, similar to Poco's hypercharge. Every second that Pam or her teammates are inside the super, they'll gain a small decaying shield. This is really interesting, but what's also interesting is that the super heals faster than the shield decays. So it keeps increasing the shield's health the longer you're inside the super. I'm not sure if there's going to be a cap to how much max health can be added on top of it, but whatever it is, it's going to be super strong, especially for some brawlers that kind of like can hang back and stay in there for a long period of time and attack from a distance, like throwers and stuff. Allie's hypercharge is Swamp Snacking. While Allie is hypercharged, she heals 20% of all of the damage that she deals. That's just insane. Additionally, her next attack after activating her super will deal extra damage based on the target's max health, not their current health like normal, right? So the 20% healing is going to make her really tough to kill, especially since she gets a slight damage buff from the hypercharge itself, and she has a little bit of damage reduction as well. And she can jump over you and just be annoying like Allie does. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. Well, to play it, not play against it. Mina's hypercharge is Triple Cane, as if her super wasn't strong enough. With her hypercharge super, she fires 3 hurricanes at the same time in a fan shape, similar to Sandy's main attack, but obviously this is a lot bigger. Each of these hurricanes can also bounce off of walls. And while it wasn't mentioned in Brawl Talk, it looks to me like the enemies that are hit by the hurricanes are pulled forward toward Mina a lot further than usual. I also didn't see anything to indicate that the other 2 hurricanes root enemies with their star power. I'll be able to confirm that in a future update sneak peek though. And if it can, oh my gosh, dude, this is ridiculous. But not as ridiculous as Ziggy's hypercharge, which is called the Grand Vortex. And it's grand. It's grand enough to cover the Grand Canyon. That was a lame joke, but whatever. Ziggy's super, once it reaches its furthest distance away, it will then return all the way back to Ziggy. This is like one of Carl's attacks, right? It goes out and then it returns back to Ziggy. Oh man, this is ridiculous. This technically doubles the duration of an already really long super. So the map control that it provides is just insane. It's a very simple but very powerful hypercharge. Oh man, I don't know if this is gonna be good enough to make Ziggy actually good or not. We'll have to see. Now, before we cover all of the Stranger collab stuff and all of the new skins, and there's a lot of them and they're cool, but I wanna talk about things that are like, I don't know, like actually important. I don't want to say that the Stranger Things collab and the skins aren't important, but like permanent stuff that's actually going to change the way that you play Brawl Stars. This is free to play improvements along with improvements to quests that I think are actually going to be bigger and better than you think they are. This is going to change your everyday interaction with Brawl Stars in a way that I imagine is going to be very positive and will make Brawl Stars feel a lot more rewarding and a lot less like a chore. Like specifically playing under-leveled brawlers on maps and modes that they aren't good for because you have quests for them. First of all, Brawl Stars is reworking the daily wins. Before this update, you needed to get 8 daily wins if you wanted to get 3 daily rewards. After this update, you will get 6 daily rewards for 6 daily wins. More rewards for playing less. We like that. Here's the deal though. I think a lot of us are kind of getting bored of regular old star drops, right? Like when they first came out, it was like, cool, woo, but they've been in the game for so long and most of them are trash. Brawl Stars is making these daily rewards more exciting by randomizing the rewards you can get every day, which randomness I don't think is particularly fun, but people do like it. What I like though is that sometimes you will get regular star drops, but other times you might be able to get hypercharge drops, angelic and demonic star drops, sushi rolls, presents during the holidays, mega boxes, boom boxes, a new box called the mech box during certain events. And then of course some seasonal like currencies and stuff like that are going on that are temporary, but will be eventually replaced with something else. But the point is here, there's a lot more variety. And also for a lot of those boxes, that also means more progression. Yeah, some of those boxes are catered more towards like cosmetics and stuff like that, but angelic and demonic star drops are more progression than regular star drops. They're just basically upgrades. We like upgrades to star drops. Now I know what you're thinking. Okay, is this really going to be more progression? when really like half the drops are going to be more XP doublers, right? But that is a good thing now. XP doublers used to be a letdown because you can earn more than you actually can use. But now XP doublers are also going to work on quests. So what that means is that you're going to burn through your XP doublers significantly faster, and every quest that you complete is essentially going to give you the rewards of 2 quests, which means that you're going to be able to reach the end of the Brawl Pass faster, earn more rewards faster, and just progress faster with probably less time being spent into the game, which I want the game to celebrate you putting more time into the game, but what I don't love is feeling like the game becomes a chore because you have to play the game in a specific way that the game wants you to play, even if that's not how you like playing the game. I love this change because players that have earned fat stacks of XP doublers are essentially going to get boosted progression now compared to other players. But by itself, this isn't really like a massive change, right? I mean, I love more progression, but that's not why I think this update's going to actually change the way that Brawl Stars feels right now. I think that these next 2 changes is actually going to make the game feel a lot more rewarding and satisfying, but let me explain those changes first, and then I'll explain why I think they're a bigger deal than you might think. First up, you like quests? How about mega quests? Mega quests are essentially 3 quests rolled into one, right? It's the same quest, but they have 3 times the requirements to complete, but the reward is 3 times the pass XP. But on top of 3 times the Brawl Pass XP that you get from it, you also get an additional juicy reward. Most quests in the game either give you a reward or pass XP, but mega quests give you both, and the additional reward that you get actually seems pretty awesome in most cases. In Brawl Talk, I saw a legendary star drop as one of the bonus rewards. Yeah, that might be a cosmetic, but it also might be your next hypercharge. We also saw waffle event resources, which we'll talk about a little bit later on, but 50 or 500 credits was also a reward. That's half of an epic brawler, or like a fourth of a mythic brawler, which is hype. 20 star drops was a bonus reward for an omega quest, which omega quests require more effort than mega quests to complete, but you get 2 times the pass XP of mega quests. So that's 6 times the pass XP that you would normally get, which is actually pretty huge. Now, these mega quests and omega quests work a little bit different than regular quests do. You have to complete them in order, okay? So each season is going to have 7 mega quests in them. 6 of them are free, and the final one is a reward for Brawl Pass owners. Once you complete the first mega quest, that unlocks the second mega quest that you can then start getting progression on. And once you complete the second mega quest, then the third one unlocks, and so on and so forth until you complete all of the mega quests, or you don't. Now, this change might not seem like a huge one. Like, isn't this just more of what we already have, but just like bigger? Well, yes, but it's this second change that I haven't talked about yet that I'm particularly excited about. And it's not actually official yet, but I think that I'm onto something here with this. And if I'm not, and I'm wrong, then I apologize. But if Supercell did what I think they did, I'm so hyped. Throughout Brawl Talk, they showed a lot of screens showcasing the regular daily quests and the season quests that we are used to, right? I carefully examined every single quest that we saw throughout Brawl Talk, and you know what was missing? Game mode quests requiring you to play a certain game mode, and brawler quests requiring you to play one of 3 specific brawlers. Instead of these 2 specific quests where you have to play game modes you may not like playing, and you have to play brawlers who are underleveled and you may not like playing, instead we saw a ton of generic quests that can be easily completed on whichever mode you want to play with whichever brawler you want to play. We had play again for a certain number of times. There's win a certain number of battles, play a certain number of battles, even if you lose, that's a new one. Defeat a certain number of enemies, deal a certain amount of damage. I could also see them adding heal a certain amount, right? I didn't see any specifications on how you do this, right? You don't have to play a specific brawler. You didn't have to play a specific mode. And this is just some speculation on my part. I really might just be flat out wrong, but I believe that they have removed quests that require you to play a specific mode with specific brawlers from daily quests and season quests. And instead, they've moved those to mega quests, where you may have a specific quest to play a certain mode, but not at the same time that you have a quest to play a specific brawler. You know those situations where you get a quest to play 3 underleveled brawlers alongside a quest to play a certain game mode where those 3 underleveled brawlers are not good for that specific game mode or map, right? In my opinion, that is one of the worst aspects of playing Brawl Stars every day. It's just awful. It's incredibly frustrating for multiple reasons. Obviously, because playing underleveled brawlers really sucks, and especially against hypercharged brawlers. And as soon as you're not playing against bots anymore, that's just what you're going to face like all the time because of how many people have maxed out brawlers. Second of all, if you have a limited amount of time to play the game, that means that you spend your time playing those frustrating brawlers in frustrating game modes, and you don't get to play the brawlers you like to play on the modes that you like to play unless you just so happen to have quests that align with your likes. Assuming I'm right about this change, and I desperately hope that I'm right, we may actually get a lot more freedom for how we play the game, and I love that. Obviously, there are still mega quests, but there is a switch button to change the 3 brawlers, and I don't know all the details on that specifically, but I do think that this is very good for the game. And I'm actually kind of cool with the game having some encouragement for you to try specific brawlers and on specific game modes, but I think giving players more freedom is a big win. Hopefully this isn't all just speculation and it's real, because if I said all of this and then this is false, I'm going to be really disappointed, like super disappointed. And Supercell, if you're watching right now, if it's not like this, then please make it like this, because I think that will make playing Brawl Stars every day a lot more fun, way less like a chore, and actually feel a lot more rewarding and satisfying. Okay, now let's talk about Stranger Things. I mentioned earlier that I'm getting kind of burnt out on these special events and collabs like this, but a big reason for that is the fact that the special abilities feel like more like of the same, and I don't really like those special abilities ruining other game modes. And this collab, this feels different, and it has a whole other layer of depth into it that I'm really excited for. Not just because it's Stranger Things, and I actually really like Stranger Things. I have very fond memories of watching it, and oh man, when season 2 came out, sorry, I don't need to talk about it. I love Stranger Things, but I actually think this special event has a lot of potential to be a permanent new game mode on its own, with its own kind of permanent progression system, kind of similar to how like Merge Tactics actually works in Clash Royale, but more on that later. The Stranger Things collab is introducing a roguelite game mode to Brawl Stars called the Upside Showdown. The Upside Showdown is like regular Showdown, but you get to pick a power up at the start of the match, okay? There are a ton of different types of power-ups to choose from. Some of them are very basic ones, from buffs to like projectile speed, movement speed, reload speed, max health, supercharge rate, and also varying amounts of buffs to those. There seem to be like common buffs and like epic buffs and legendary buffs, perhaps. I don't know exactly what they're called, but that's kind of what it looks like. But then there are other buffs that are really unique to things like damaging enemies, giving you a temporary shield, or starting the game with a charged super or a power cube, right? Or increasing your projectile range, or even your area damage size. Lots of really cool, unique abilities here to choose from. And so far, this sounds just like other special events we've had, right? Yeah, okay, you're right, but it gets more interesting. The winners of the showdown match, in other words, the top 4 players, then get to move to another round where they get to pick a second power-up that stacks with your first one. And the 4 winners of that second match get to move on to a third match with a third power up, and then the 4 winners move on to a fourth match with a fourth power up, and those 4 winners then go to a 5th match with a 5th power up, and where all 10 players are competing with 5 different abilities on completely different builds depending on the power up choices that they went with in previous matches. Depending on the power ups that you go with, you can have some absolutely insane builds with an absurd amount of variety, and I am so for it. This is so hype. I'm so excited. From what it seems like, the whole point of doing this and getting the 5 wins is to get you maximum rewards, and these rewards are going to be more trophies and waffles, which are a limited currency for the event, which we'll talk more about later on. And if you are not in the top 4, then that run ends, and then you get a fresh start with new choices back to back to the beginning. It's a roguelite is how it works. And there's a difference between roguelikes and roguelites. And that's why in Brawl Talk, Danny specified that this is not a roguelike, it is a roguelite, but that is a whole other topic for a whole other video. Now, I believe that you are locked in a run with a specific brawler for the whole run. So if you want to go all 5 wins, you have to play that specific brawler the whole time and go with a powerful combo that works with that specific brawler. I just could see this being so much fun. I really cannot wait to play it, especially like most roguelites that I've ever played have always been PvP, or not PvP. They've never been PvP. So doing this with PvP in Brawl Stars, a game that I already love, it's like mixing 2 things that I love so much. I love roguelites, and I love roguelikes, and I love Brawl Stars. So this is just like so hype. And I love Stranger Things. So like, oh, this is so cool. Okay, now we need to talk about waffles. Waffles are Eleven's favorite food. And if you haven't watched Stranger Things, 11 is one of the main characters. And I know that naming someone 11 is kind of strange, but stranger things happen in Stranger Things. The point is, you use waffles to buy card packs, because that makes sense. Now, inside card packs, you unlock the abilities that you can then use in Upside Showdown. So these come in the form of like cards, right? You open up a card pack, it gives you different abilities and stuff like that, and then you get to use those card packs, or those cards that you unlock, to create your own specific, or your deck for specific brawlers that you unlock as brawler cards. So this is my understanding of how this works out. In Upside Showdown, you can only play a brawler if you have that brawler's card unlocked. And I believe that you choose from ability cards to create a deck. And when you start a round of Upside Showdown, 3 cards are randomly selected from your deck, and you have to both create a good deck and choose the right cards for the specific brawler that you're playing. Oh man, there's so many different aspects to this. It's like so exciting. There's a little bit of RNG, but there's a little bit of deck building. There's a little bit of like, okay, can I collect the best cards for the specific brawler that I'm wanting to play? Or could I even like, there's just so much to this. It's so exciting. It's like Pokemon with Magic the Gathering, with Clash Royale, all in Brawl Stars, and I'm so excited. And apparently there are even unique abilities for certain brawlers. So if you want the best combos, you're gonna wanna play Upside Showdown to gain those waffles and use those waffles to upgrade your deck with more card packs and better options, which can be used to build crazier and crazier combos within the game. 4 trophies in Brawl Stars in Showdown. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. And the reason why I'm so hyped here is because this is essentially its own game mode with its own form of progression and a unique gameplay experience that we've never seen within Brawl Stars. And I don't know how the community is going to react to this, but if you guys like it as much as I think I'm going to like it, I could see this eventually becoming a permanent version of a roguelite game mode introduced into Brawl Stars with its own progression system and ability to unlock card packs separately from the main game inside Brawl Stars. Oh, it's so exciting. It's just the potential. I don't know, maybe it'll be way too complex and you guys won't like it, but I'm so excited. And I haven't even played it yet, so who knows? Maybe I'll hate it. I don't know. It sounds really cool. I can't wait to try. We've got more game modes coming to the game. During the Stranger Things event, we are going to have some more boss fight bosses to fight. We are going to be able to fight Vecna and the Demogorgon from Stranger Things, which is exciting. And a random third combo is going to be Spirit Frank, who I guess is part of the fun. I don't know, but what I'm excited about here is the fact that I think Brawl Stars is actually doing a really good job at creating these really unique and interesting boss fights with really unique and interesting mechanics. If you missed the Brawloween bosses that have been going on over the past couple of weeks, they've actually been like a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to experience these new ones. But we're also getting 2 more trio game modes. So these trio game modes include 4 teams of 3 players. We have trio wipeout, which makes sense. Whichever team of 3 gets the most kills wins. And trio gem grab, which is a little bit more confusing. I believe there's just 1 gem mine in the center. There's 4 teams of 3 players all competing for gems in the middle. Like there's going to be teaming. This could be stressful, but I'm really interested to try them out. Another really cool feature they're adding to the game is the ability to team up with players that you recently won a match with. It looks like this is even if you aren't friends with them. And basically you win a match with them and it's like, oh, do you want to play again with them without having to actually become permanent friends? And while also being able to swap to different brawlers. And while, hey, you just played ranked with them. You want to keep playing ranked with them? That's a really good thing. I like this a lot because you can continue playing without actually having to commit to becoming friends. Which is funny because you think you'd want to make a bunch of friends, but I don't know. I'm excited for this. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I have a hard time with long-term commitment. We've also got a ton of new skins coming into the game. Now, I'm going to be doing a video where I cover all of the specific gem costs and all of the animations, but I'll tell you now what we already know and speculate on what we don't know. First up, the Stranger Things collab skins. Starting off with 11 Lumi. This is going to be the Brawl Pass skin, and there will be 2 color variations for people who own and buy the Brawl Pass Plus. We also have Dustin Nita, which is a hypercharged skin, and Bruce is a Demogorgon, which I love. I was thinking that Lily was going to be the Demogorgon, but I'm so happy that it is actually Bruce, right? This skin also has 2 color variations as well. Then we also have Hopper Bull. I guess my best guess is that this is going to be an epic skin. It may end up being a mythic skin. We also have Eddie Draco. My best guess is this will be an epic skin. We also have Will Gus. And my best guess is that this is going to be a super rare skin, but I don't know that for sure. Then we have Scoops Ahoy Berry, which I think is going to be a super rare skin, but may end up being an epic skin. Okay, next we got some female mecha skins, and I'm so hyped for this, man. The Jessie one. First, though, we got Mecha Mandy. She is going to be the Brawl Pass skin with 2 Brawl Pass Plus chroma variations, which is interesting because, like, all of the mecha skins up until this point have been legendary or hypercharge, but Brawl Pass skins are actually epic skins typically. So this may end up being an epic mecha skin, which is interesting. Certainly a choice. Then we also have Mecha Piper, which is a hypercharged skin. There's also a couple of hypercharged chroma color variations as well. Really excited for this one, but like I said, I am so excited for Mecha Jessie. They did such a good job at making it a mecha skin and also making it look so cute and fun and just perfect for Jessie's mechanics. My guess is this is going to be a legendary one with 2 chroma variations because they did not mention hypercharge abilities or hypercharged skins. Okay, next we have the Gym Rat collection of skins, and this is so fun. I love seeing this. They posted a picture of the Brawl team. Apparently a lot of the Brawl team loves the gym, which I actually know that. Supercell actually has a really great gym in their office. Yeah, this is cool. I like this. But we got Pump It Up Melody. My best guess is this is going to be a super rare skin. We got Workout Charlie. Again, my best guess is a super rare. And then we got Gym Rat Mr. P, and my best guess for this is that it will be an epic skin. Next, we have this next year's Pro Pass skin, which will be Tiger Leon. This skin, and normally, honestly, like the color chromas, it's like, okay, cool, it's more of the same, whatever. But the 2 color chromas are also so cool. It evolves into this hypercharged version. This one just looks so good. And then we also have the Archer Queen Penny skin. I love this one. This is going to be a Supercell reward skin for purchases on store.supercell.com and stuff. Now, if you thought this Brawl Talk update was short, you're right, because this is just an update for just 1 month. This is half of an update, and they're going to be doing another Brawl Talk in about a month from now. But we still have a ton of content to cover for this current update. So I'm gonna be making some sneak peeks on there. Make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss it. But keep in mind that just subscribing does not mean that you will get notified. You have to turn on that notification bell. Otherwise, you might miss the video. In the meantime, you can check out these videos and make sure you use code Kairos in the Brawl Stars shop. Thanks you so much for watching. Thanks you.